Okay, it is like 8:45 and I just started reading Fire Study. We are like a chapter and a half in. We're 23 pages into it, so barely anything. There's a lot of explaining what happened in the last two books in here, which I would have appreciated if I wasn't reading these back to back. But I do it like it's fine, it's whatever, because it is technically necessary because these are technically published a year apart. But yeah, so far it's been a lot of that, and we're just starting off the story. Rose hates her, and we're gonna be spending some time with Rose. I also don't know how long we're gonna be spending with her, because on the back it says that she's gonna be going, a plot is rising against her homeland, and so she's gonna test the limits of her skills and hope to be reunited with her love. And her journey is fraught with allies and enemies, lovers, and would-be assassins. Lovers, that's my only question. Why is it a multiple? She has one lover. But anyway, I've started it. It's fun. It's picking up a month after Magic Study ended. Like, this time it actually told you how long it's been. Last time I was guessing. This time it told you it's been a month since she's seen Valak, which is how I know it's been a month. But yeah. So I know we're only 78 pages in, and we're just starting the story. But it doesn't feel like they're gonna go back to the Citadel. So I'm like, is she gonna get her training with Rose? I definitely feel like they are gonna go back to Citadel. So here's my thinking. I think right now they're gonna go into the jungle to the Zaltana clan to make sure that the family's okay, and then they're gonna go back to the Citadel, and she's probably gonna get like max a week's worth of training with Rose, and then she's gonna go to Ixia to, you know, make sure they're okay. So I'm thinking by like page 200 she should be on her way back to Ixia. But then again, my last video, I kept guessing when Valak was gonna show up, and I kept getting that wrong. So I don't know. But yeah, I don't think Valak's gonna show up in this one. I think she's gonna show up. Like, she's gonna go back to Ixia and they're gonna meet up there. Oh, actually this cover looks like they're in Scythia the entire time. I'm saying the entire time. That's not actually saying much, because Magic Study cover looks like she's in the jungle the entire time. She was only in the jungle at the beginning. So this is probably just for the beginning, actually. Anyway, I'm rambling. We are 78 pages in, and yeah, it's reading quite fast because we already know the characters, and it's just carrying on with the story. It's not bringing up really anything new, so it's a good time. I'm enjoying it. What time is it? It's 10:30. I might actually read maybe one more chapter, maybe not, I'm not sure. But yeah, it is pretty easy to read. I've just been sitting here reading for like an hour and I didn't even notice the time passing. My throat is like it's not okay right now. I think it's because I am not used to talking a lot, because I don't really get to see people a lot. So I've been talking a lot to make these videos. So we just got our first little notion of her soul finding going bad. She saved Stono, and he's come back different. He's come back more harsh, like he's come back harsher. So I think that's, but they like push it aside because he's like, oh, that's not important right now. And she, you know, she has a bunch of other problems, so she's not thinking about it. But there was our first hint that her soul finding is going in the negative direction. Okay, at first I said I was cool with the reminders of what happened in the prior two books, but she keeps doing it. It's getting on my nerves. Like, everything is re-explained. I'm like, oh my god, stop. Again, it could just be because I'm marathoning them, so I remember what happened. I just read them. So it might be good if I was reading them like spread out, but right now it's getting on my nerves. Also, we are 145 pages in, and the ending hasn't, I mean, not the ending, the back hasn't really started. I mean, technically Elena has been put on a path, but a plot is rising against her homeland. Like, that part hasn't been revealed yet. I mean, we are only like 30% in, so there is still time, but I feel like it should have been revealed, at least just revealed. Like, maybe like nothing happened to go towards that yet, but at the very least it should have been revealed. They're still just looking for Cohilford and the vermin. This doesn't feel like the ending to a trilogy. This feels like the second book to a trilogy. I'm sure I'll feel differently once we get like closer to the last 100 pages, but currently that's what it feels like. Also, technically this is trilogy because the second set is called the Soul Finder trilogy. It's still following Elena, so it's still a continuation of this series, but I just plan on reading this trilogy, and then I think I'm just gonna read the synopsis to the second book. To the second trilogy, and just to find out what it's about. But yeah, I don't think I'll actually read. I don't know, we'll find out. But yeah, I really like Elena, which is why I think it's so easy for me to marathon this series, because I've tried before I started reading this trilogy. I was reading something else. It was the second book, and I hated the main character in that book, so it was so hard for me to continue on reading. But yeah, I love Elena, so it makes it so easy. She's such a good time. We made it to 157 pages, so we're just about to start chapter 13, and it is a school day, so I do have to go and do some work, and then I have class later. But it's only 1:30, so depending on how much work and homework and stuff I get done, I could possibly read a little bit more before class and then a little bit after class, and then I have a meeting later tonight. But yeah, most of my goals are just to continue on reading this. I am enjoying it, but when are we gonna against her homeland? Is her homeland not okay? Maybe her homeland is Scythia. Maybe that's what they mean by homeland. I just assumed Dixia, but maybe not. Test the limits of her skills, which we're already on that. We're already on the path to test the limits of her skills, because we're testing her fire skills already. She has none. We're testing her her mind skills. She has already saved someone who's like their stomach was ripped open, so her skills are really being tested right now. Fought with allies, so like Leaf and Moonman. Enemies, Cohilford. Would be assassins. I have no idea. Oh, would that be like Stono? No, but they're not assassins. He's not an assassin. He's just someone who's ready to kill now. Lovers. I don't know why that's multiple. Oh, you know what? That could be lovers for other people too. I didn't even think about that. So that's probably like Mara for Leaf, and then for her it'd be Valak. I'm wondering when we're gonna get another mind connection dream with Valak, because she is in a dangerous situation, and that's when those dreams come about. So when are we gonna get one of those? And also, when are they gonna reunite? I know it's really annoying that I'm always saying this, which funnily enough, because I'm really enjoying where the story's going, it's not bothering me that there's like no romance in this, because there isn't romance. There's like the lightest subplot of romance in the story, but it's not bothering me like it normally would. But yeah, I would still like to see them together. Even when they're together though, it's not very romantic. Like, those scenes aren't very romantic. It's more like They see each other, they have sex, and then they might talk. You don't even read about the sex part, it just kind of skims over it because, you know, back in the day, YA. But I still love those scenes, like I can't help it, I still want to read those scenes. So anyway, we are about, I don't know how far this is, like 30%, a little bit more than 30% of the way through, and I'm enjoying it. I honestly feel like I could finish this tomorrow because I'm definitely gonna be reading more of it today. So we're 198 pages in and I'm getting bored. I'm not gonna lie, I just need this to pick up. Like, I don't care anymore, which is a problem because I already took a picture for the thumbnail for this book, so we're probably gonna have to go change that thumbnail. But I mean, we still have like over 200 pages, so I could definitely still use that thumbnail because definitely still pick up. But right now I just don't care. I just need this to, like, it just keeps going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I'm like, okay, what new problem do we have? Like, it's how many times are you gonna use the same problem, you know? But now we're getting to the point where a plot is rising against their homeland. Now it's being mentioned. But yeah, I just want to skip past all this and get to when she's back with her northern family, like Janko, Ari, and Valak. Like, that's all I want. I much prefer her northern side, honestly. I don't care about the southern side. It's just like they're fun, but also I like the northern side better. I'm a little biased. Just as I made that little rant, Valak showed up. He's there. He came back to Cynthia. I'm hoping both of them are gonna go back to Ixia because I like them better up there. But he's back. Oh, I love when he's like, he'll just like speak. Like, she'll walk into a room, she thinks she's alone, and then he'll be like, "What's wrong? What's so funny? What's going on?" I just like him so. It's so weird how much I like him considering we get not that much from him after book 1. In book 1 we got like a good amount because she was still living with him, but in books 2 and 3 she's in the south and she gets almost no time with him. We get almost no, it's not a screen, but screen time with him. But like, I love him. I just, oh, he's so sweet. But yeah, like I was saying before, we don't even get very much scene wise with them because it was this much of the page and it was just like, should I know why you're here? Like, yeah, but I'll tell you later. And then they had sex again, and it's just like, you don't get the full scene, you just know that they're gonna have sex, which, I mean, it is realistic. That is my one thing about these books, how realistic they feel for like these fantasy magical worlds. But I'm just saying, a little bit of conversation wouldn't hurt anybody. We are now 204 pages into this book. That's literally like 3 pages after my last little clip. But I do have class in like 10 minutes, so I'm gonna stop reading right now and go do that. But okay, I made that complaint on how bored I was, and then this picked right back up, and Valak was like, yep, I was sent to assassinate the entire council. I was like, oh my god. I do hope though that this means Valak is gonna be a stronger part of the rest of the book, because he said we are gonna figure out what's going on. And she was like, we? He was like, yes, we. And I was like, oh my god, I'm like so in love with this man, which is so weird because he literally isn't in most of the story. But anyway, I'm like Elena, I'm telling you. I feel like he's gonna be in a larger chunk of this. Okay, I hope he's gonna be in the rest of this book. Like, he's actually gonna be a character we see throughout. Because I think that's what was starting to bug me in the first 200 pages, is we got absolutely no Valak. Like we didn't even get the mind connection. So at first I was like, oh, it's fine, you know, I'm surprised it's not bothering me because I love romance and I go everything based on romance. It wasn't bothering me because it was the first 100 to like 120 pages. But then we got 200 pages in and I was like, okay, it still hasn't happened. It's you're gonna, I'm gonna freaking break right now. But we're good. It came back. So yeah, we are 204 pages in, which means we have 237 pages left. Now we'll definitely be reading more of this tonight. I don't know how much more, but we'll get a good chunk in. Might go maybe another 37 pages just so I can have only 200 pages left for tomorrow. Yo, this little plan against them. Oh, it's such a good one. Also, I really like how Leaf and Elena's relationship has grown since the second book. But yeah, ooh, they're going to Ixia. I really hope they actually get there, and I think they are, because Leaf just said, I've never been to Ixia, which means now we're gonna get his view of like what it's like there, even though there's only like 200 pages left. But we're gonna get his view, and he's gonna be like, oh, you know, it's not as terrible as I thought. Like, he's probably not gonna love it, but I think he'll understand that there are different sides, and like the different countries might be very different, but the people there aren't miserable. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. And of course, Valak isn't going with them again. Oh my god. It's like Maria and Snyder is trying to keep them apart. But like, also part of me doesn't mind that much because I know they're gonna end up back together. But like, I like a little bit more with them. You know, I feel like Valak is a lot more of like a side character than Leaf is. Like, Leaf has more throughout the story than Valak does, but Valak is the love interest. It's okay. I'm like fine with how much he's in it, but like I'd like a little bit more, you know? So the Storm Dance Lands, Maria V. Snyder has another book series. I don't remember what it's called. I think the first one's called Sea Glass. But essentially it's following the Storm Dancers and whatever is going on in their world, and it's, now I know it's set in the same world, it's just following different groups of people. But now I know that is the other series by her I was looking into, so we'll see. The two writers are Ari and Janko for sure. Here's what happened. Ari and Janko heard of the execution order on Elena's head. So they're like, nah, motherfucker, we're going into Scythia. So they started going in, and because the two of them are riding in to find her, the entire Scythian soldier, like, standing there are not following them in because they just, you know, crossed the border without permission. And now those two are gonna get Leaf and Elena in trouble. It's like perfect timing. This is gonna be so funny. I lied. I guess I understood it wrong. Because I thought they were still in Scythia when the two writers were coming, but I guess it was the other way around, and they were already like around the border, so they just crossed and the two were chasing after them, which caused the rest of the like soldiers to follow, but they didn't cross into Ixia, so that would be breaking the rules. So the soldiers are gone, but now they're surrounded by the Ixians. We're gonna find out who it is now. This is a whole sequence of events that I was not anticipating. Okay, first of all, I mean, I knew Moonman and Morag and to know we're gonna end up with them somehow, but like I didn't really like think about it too much. So they're the two that follow them inside. Okay, interesting. So I was reading, I got about half an hour of reading in, and we just saw Marion again. Oh, it was a great time. But then my sister called, so I had to stop mid-chapter, and we've been talking for like past half hour, and then she's gonna call me back right now, so I can't continue. And then I have a group meeting But after that, I will be continuing on. We're 228 pages in. I'm definitely gonna get a bit more of this thing today, so that's exciting. Honestly, if I get another 50 pages in, that'll be an exact 200 for the day, and then that'll be like 150-ish. I don't know how much actually. That'll be like a lot less for tomorrow. So I moved here because I'm starting to dip my mattress right there. I've been sitting in that spot for too long. But anyway, the commander has magical powers. I guessed that part in the first book when, you know, it was revealed that the commander was born a girl. I was like, how would he have turned into a guy without powers? So I guess that much. I didn't talk about it because I was like, okay, maybe not, but like, yeah, he does. That's not that surprising to me. My question is, does he know about it? I kind of feel like he doesn't. You know what I think? I think he thinks that's just something he can do. Okay, I want to know what his rationale is for that part. I also want to know how Valak is immune to magic. Like, that, I feel like that's a magical power all on its own. I'm just saying. So, Elena and I are on the same wavelength. I'm getting real fucking tired of Moon Man's. Like, he doesn't communicate. And then he's getting mad at her for not understanding his non-communication. Oh my god, bro. At first, it was like funny, blah, blah, blah. It was annoying before he became serious, but like now it's really annoying. And I'm just like, bro, fucking talk, okay? I'm not here for your miscommunication or your figure it out yourself bullshit. Like, and then you're gonna get mad at me because you didn't tell me what you wanted to. Oh my god. He's getting on my nerves. Okay, see, I've been having some questions about Elena and Valak's relationship because she's a magician and he's known as the magician killer. So I was like, how is she not even gonna question that? Like, how is she not gonna bring that up in the relationship? But as I've been saying, these books are so realistic, and we just had our first fight between the two of them, and it's because Elena just called him the magician killer. She's like, I was supposed to trust you with this operation. She didn't know about it technically, but like, she was like, I was supposed to trust you with this operation. You're the magician killer. Like, if I could save my people, I'm gonna do it. And he was like, just stoic. He was like, oh, so I'm just a magician killer, okay? And I'm just like, I just dropped my copy, and I'm just like, okay, first of all, I've been waiting for this conversation. Second of all, I can't wait for them to actually talk it out so I can find out what is actually going on. And third of all, I just love that they had a fight because it just makes their relationship so much more real. I'm having a great time. This story has definitely picked up. We're 305 pages in. So there's 136 pages left. I'm gonna go and clean this coffee up and then I think read at least a little bit more. It's only 8:45, so we got time. But then I'm sure my mom or my sister's gonna call soon. But I'm gonna try to read like one more chapter. I cannot find a comfortable position, but I was just saying how excited I was that they just had a fight. Here's my thing. It is realistic, the like not communicating and ignoring each other, blah blah blah. It's just not realistic for me because I'm that type of person. Once we fight, like 10 minutes later, we're making a bitch. Okay, we're done. So I'm that type of person who will just make up pretty quickly. So reading about people like ignoring each other for like a day or two, I'm like, motherfucker, talk about it. Let's go. We can get past this. So it's just a little annoying, but we're gonna get past it. Okay, you see here, days now. They're both being so annoying, like fucking talk to each other. I cannot it was going so well until she introduced this shit. I cannot handle it. It's going to piss me off. I know they're gonna make up, but like by the time they make up, it's gonna fucking piss me off. I'm already getting so annoyed. It was going so well. Okay. This is getting on my nerves. Okay, it's 2-4 now. Like, they're straight up not talking to each other. They're doing, I don't even know what Valak is doing right now, but she's going off and doing a little mission on her own. Like, you fucking get over yourself. She's saying her reasoning for not apologizing to him is then she won't feel as like connected and like she could really risk herself without thinking about blah blah blah. Like, bitch, oh my god. Oh. Elena, I loved you until now. Really, we only have like 150 pages left and she's gonna start getting, not even, but she's gonna start getting on my nerves now. Oh my god, just fucking apologize. We have reached 350 pages exactly, so we have 99 pages left. Really? Oh wait, I'm dumb, I can't do math. 91 pages left of this book. I was expecting this to happen, but I'm annoyed that she waited until something dramatic happened to apologize to him. Like, I expected that's how she was gonna play it out, but the fact that she had to wait until after going to the fire world to apologize to him and stuff. And she did tell him technically everything, but also she didn't, because she didn't tell him about her time in the fire world. And she's gonna try to play that out by herself, which, I mean, she is gonna play that out by herself. Not gonna try, she is gonna play it out by herself, but I already know it's gonna bother me. And it's just okay, it was going so well until these last like 200 pages. This entire series was going so well until like these last 200 pages, where she decided that she's just gonna push everyone aside. And Fire Warper even told her that he was like, the same way you pushed Moonman aside, same way you pushed your brother aside, and now you're pushing Valak aside. And then she went and apologized to Valak, but like still, yeah, I feel like it's such a it's such a main character's thing to just push everyone aside because they can handle it on their own. They don't want anyone else to get hurt. Like, oh my god, bitch, you have done everything else with Valak up until this point. What part of you is like, no, Valak can't handle this one? I mean, I understand her point. She's like, you know, she's in love with this man. She doesn't want him to get hurt. But he has trusted you to do everything with him. We're gonna slide past that thing where he kind of used her to, like, earlier when Star took her, but like we're gonna slide past that because technically they were working together still. She just didn't know about it. But he has included her in pretty much everything. And the fact that I feel like she hasn't really done that throughout the series. It's always been him saying anything you need. It's never been her to him being like, whatever you say, babe. Like, oh my god. Okay, I mean, I'm complaining, but at the end of the day, it does all circle back to my biggest compliment to this trilogy, and that's just how realistic it is, because realistically that is what would happen. So can't even argue with that. But I'm so annoyed. Theoretically, what time is it? It's 10 o'clock. Theoretically, I could finish this by midnight, but I'm gonna give myself a break and then I'll just finish this tomorrow. I was gonna say morning, but I actually have skating tomorrow morning. So like sometime tomorrow, I will be finishing this. Yeah. I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed. But also, it's still so good. Okay, at this point, if I had to give it a rating right now, I don't even know. I feel like it's still a 5 stars, but it's not as high up as the first two. you know, like they're all 5 stars, but also it's like a 4.98, you know. It's pretty much a 5 stars, but like some things are just so frustrating. I think the reason I have to give it a 5 stars though is because it's frustrating, but it's so realistic that I'm like, yeah, but that is what would happen. Like if I was in Elena's situation, as annoyed as I am with her right now, I would probably do the same things. I would probably communicate more, but I would probably do the same things. So I can't really be mad at her, you know? Okay, we finished. That ending bit was... I understand her reasoning for staying in the fire world and the shadow realm for like a longer period of time, but also I was like, you're being so annoying. Like Moon Man literally keeps telling you everything and your dumbass is just like flying straight over your heads. She's not picking any of it up. But I did really enjoy it. I am really annoyed because the one thing I was excited to see in this book was Isu and Pearl like officially meeting Valak, and they didn't. They haven't. But I mean, I figure in those 72 days that she was not on Earth, um, they probably met Valak. But I wanted to see a scene with the 4 of them, maybe leave 2, so maybe the 5 of them in a room, and like the parents meeting Valak and her being like, yeah, nah, this is the man I love. I'm so annoyed that we didn't get that scene, but whatever, it was good. uh Honestly, a great time. There was, I think in this one there was a lot more that annoyed me than in the first 2, but like it was a realistic annoyance. It was like, yeah, but like that is how it would have played out, so I can't even be mad about it. The romance in here felt more real. Okay, I'm just, that little review, not review, but that little snippet that I read where the girl was like, oh, and the first one is definitely a subplot, but like, and the rest, the girl, it's like the romance is, she used the word substantial. She said it's a more substantial part of the story, and I was like, oh, we about to get, no, it's not. This entire series is definitely just fantasy with, you know, dashes of romance throughout. So it's not, even when Valak died, which I knew he didn't die. So I literally, this was my face while reading it, because I knew he was alive. So like it didn't really bother me that he was like dead, like that she believes him to be dead. But even in that time where from the fire to when they met up again, it was, I think 8 to 10 days or something like that. It'd been like, I think it'd been like 10 days. All that we would get would be, I mean, mind you, we didn't really, we would only get her thoughts every like 3 days or 4 days, but like we would get, I have to keep busy, so don't think about Valak. That was it. I was like, bitch, you want me to believe that you're grief stricken by losing him, but we're not getting any thoughts on your grief. It's just you telling me that you're sad. Like, no, I need to feel your sadness. I don't know. It was a great time. I'm curious, actually. I'm not gonna continue on with the second trilogy, but I am curious what the synopsis is, so I'm gonna go read that right now, and then try to figure out what I'm gonna rate this. I feel like it's also gonna be a 5 stars, but also I don't know, so give me a minute. Yeah, so the first book to the Soul Finder trilogy, so this is called the Study trilogy, and then the companion is called the Soul Finder trilogy. It's another vague little description of what's gonna happen. I'm not gonna read it. I feel like whole with the ending of the story, and I don't need to continue on with the Elena story. That's usually my thing when more books are added to a series that was complete. I'm like, you know it was complete, okay? Why would you add more to it and now, like, you're just... Anyway, I don't know when I'm gonna read this yet. 5 stars. I think so. Honestly, I think so. Because it's like the same with the other two books in the series. I cannot think of something that would lower the rating. Because yeah, I had problems in the sense that like a lot of things got on my nerves in this book. But they were done in a proper way. They were well done. So I can't be mad about it. And I mean, I was cool with the outcome. But yeah, I'd say if I had to say a complaint for the entire trilogy, it would be the romance part. Like, I was cool with it. It didn't bother me, which was so weird. Like, that is usually something that really bothers me. But I was cool with it. I just think I would have preferred maybe a couple scenes where, like, we really grow, or, like, if it's just her thoughts, we really grow in her relationship with Alec, if just her thinking about him. Because it was a lot more of tell than show. So we were, getting scenes where she was like, oh, I miss Valak. I can't wait to be with Valak. Where's Valak? But like, we didn't really get, paragraphs of like her thoughts and her feelings for him. It was more like we were told that she feels that way for him. So I'd say that's probably my biggest complaint. But like, if that's like a trilogy-wise thing. But yeah, overall, 5 stars, probably, yes. Honestly, it was a great time.